What's up, guys? Corey here in Sana. DNA TV Talk. We're going to talk real quick about Supergirl. We've been watching Supergirl since it started, and as of this recording, last night's episode was the Bizarro episode, and it's kind of interesting. I kind of want to talk about this, how we feel about the series overall, and then get into maybe the last couple episodes.
Okay.
So, first of all, Supergirl is kind of a new character to me. So
Well,
I
me
know it's
too.
definitely a new character for you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm more of a Marvel guy, and I always thought like Batman is a really cool DC hero, but Superman's always kind of been like, why does this character exist? He's too powerful type thing. Where, I actually really like Supergirl's the story they're telling. So what do you think of Supergirl so far?
Well, I'm not just new to Supergirl, I'm new to like this whole universe. Like, I don't watch Arrow or Flash or anything like that. And my understanding of Batman and whatever, it's just the movies. I don't know anything about any of this. So coming in completely blind, I think they make it easy to understand for people that don't know the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've asked you questions as we go, but they're not like vital to enjoying the show. I like it. I think it has a good flow. I think the characters are developing well. I like it. I think it's interesting. I think parts of it are kind of like typical superhero, like the secret agency and, living double life and whatever, but I like it. I can't remember her real name. The girl that plays Supergirl, I think she does a good job of being kind of the naive, innocent girl, but then being like a badass. So I like it. I like it so far. There's definitely a lot of character development happening. And I like Kat. The heck's her name in real life? Callista Flockhart. Yeah, I like her.
Mrs. Han Solo.
Yeah, right, Mrs. Han Solo. I think I like everything. I like all the dynamics. I think it's been easy to follow. It's not like a superhero show. It's a show that happens to have a superhero.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah. For me, I've been watching Arrow and Flash since they started, and now Legends of Tomorrow, and I just started getting into Gotham, which I actually think is a show you might like, because it's that procedural, like, cop drama, kind of like The Killing, almost, but it just happens to be set in Gotham City before Batman is a thing. Like, that's kind of the show, and, like, the first couple episodes are really bad of Gotham, but, it's growing on me. But Supergirl, the first few episodes, I was like, oh my gosh, this show is like, I was like cringing.
It was a little cheesy starting off.
It wasn't only that, but like kind of like the acting and kind of like the forced, like, CBS does this thing where like, to try to broaden the audience, they generalize these tropes, and it's just kind of like, ugh. And like the first couple episodes, like I'm all for like the strong female hero and whatever, but like the real push on like women are strong kind of thing is just kind of like thrown in your face. I was like cringeworthy, like, but like they got away from that, and like probably by like episode 6 or 7, I was like really into it. And then I really like Melissa Benoist as Supergirl. I think she fits the part, and I like how it differs from Flash and Arrow. Everything, and more Arrow than Flash, but everything is like she tries to find the good in everyone.
Yeah.
Whereas like those other shows, everything's just so dark, and like everything's just bad. Everything in these cities that's happening is bad, and like it's like National City is like not a bad place. It just has some bad people in it that she finds, and like,
I mean, so far they've all been aliens. They're not even people, except for Maxwell Lord, but they can't prove anything yet.
Yeah, and like the episode that I really, really started getting into Supergirl was when they introduced John Jones, Martian Manhunter, Hank.
Yeah,
is that his alien form? I'm like, because that was such a huge reveal, and Martian Manhunter is he's probably one of the better DC heroes as far as I'm concerned, because I don't follow very many DC heroes. I follow Batman, and I like Martian Manhunter, and I follow the Flash and Arrow because they're on TV, and that's kind of it. But I really like the team dynamic. I like the way her sister plays a big role in this. I still think the actress that plays her aunt/mom is the worst actress I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But, I really like the way they've approached this show the last few episodes.
Yeah, it's getting stronger.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, after that first episode, I know the ratings were down, but I know they're climbing back up, and I really think people should be watching the show. I think probably 2 or 3 episodes ago is probably a good jumping on point if you don't want the cheesy, let's build this up.
You don't miss anything by skipping.
Yeah, and I really like what's his name? The other guy. The black guy. James Olsen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's such a big part of that universe. I don't know why I forgot his name, but I really like him. I really like that love triangle. Sometimes it feels a little forced, but there's a dynamic there that kind of works, and
they have to throw that in though. It is,
yeah, and
a CBS show at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I really like the changing dynamic where you can actually see the characters changing. Kat, let's face it, she's a bitch.
She is, but she makes it so good to watch.
Yeah, but
she's so compelling.
Over the episodes, you can actually see her change.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what I like. It's all about the character development, which I really like. But last night, we watched the Bizarro episode, which is a very popular Superman story. And before we go on that's another thing I don't like about the show is they keep calling back to Superman.
Yeah.
I really wish the show would just kind of delete Superman.
She always says my cousin, and it's kind of it adds the cheese factor back.
We get it. You're Superman's cousin.
She needs to just stand on her own.
Yeah.
And
yeah. I kind of wish they would just kind of almost delete Superman from this mythos for this show.
In one scene, she's messaging him online. No, that's not happening.
Yeah, that's not happening. It's okay, we get it. That first episode to explain where she comes from.
Right,
that's
of
fine.
course.
But they always are my cousin, the man in blue, the big guy or whatever. I'm so annoyed by that. It
feels like they're gonna it has a feel of they're getting charged every time they say Superman, so they're purposely saying other things. It's just awkward.
Yeah, it's this thing that doesn't need to be there, and I think the story would be way better if they would just stop comparing her to Superman, stop telling her she's not as good as Superman, stuff like that. So, but with that said, last night's episode, the Bizarro episode, like I said, very popular Superman story where they bring in evil Superman to fight Superman. I thought it was kind of interesting because Maxwell Lord, we've known he's been behind this for a while. And now they brought in his scientific experiment to take on Supergirl. And I thought last night's episode was really well done.
I think so.
I kind of wish it could have been a 2-part episode because Bizarro is kind of a big thing in the DC universe, but as far as a 1-episode arc, I thought it was cool to see Bizarro, and I like the way the effects, the black eyes, the cracking skin, because that's really a big detail to Bizarro, and I thought it was really, really well done, even though it was an adapted Superman storyline.
I liked it, and I didn't know that. I just liked it as is.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of interested in your perspective on the overall superhero thing and how is this, because to be fair, you're the audience that CBS wants to watch this show.
Right.
You don't, you're not reading comics, you're not watching the movies every day, you're not, I mean you are because of me, but you're not super into it like we all are. And so I'm interested in your perspective on that episode and this in particular.
I like it. I think they're achieving what they wanted to achieve. Like I said, I feel like I don't need to know anything to enjoy the show. I like it. I think she's, as far as appealing to like women or a younger audience, I think she is a good role model. It is like a family friendly show, but without being, I don't know, lame.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the most interesting show, but it does kind of bring me into that universe without me feeling like, oh, enough already with all this superhero stuff. I think it's a good balance. I think it's interesting. It's not my favorite show, don't get me wrong, but I like it. As cheesy as it can be to have like the girl version and whatever, I do think it's necessary, especially for younger girls. So I think it's a necessary show. I think they're doing a good job. I watch it. I'm not like jumping for joy to watch it, but I enjoy watching it, and I don't know, I think it has a good balance.
Yeah.
I think they're achieving what they wanted to achieve. They want to be serious about including the facts from comics, but it doesn't have a serious tone. It has just it's just a show that has a superhero. Yeah. So I think for people like me, that's a better pull than having to know lots of characters. So
yeah, the thing about Supergirl that I like, I think is easier for people who aren't familiar with these characters. CBS, or the way the CW does their shows is like, after that first episode, you really have to know, like, and you really need to know Arrow, you really need to know Flash, you really need to know these characters almost outside of this universe to you know, really get what they're trying to sell, even though like the CW is just a bunch of like, you know, quote unquote hot people standing around and trying to act like that's what a lot of people think the CW is. But I really, really, really love the way the Flash is going about it, and Supergirl kind of reminds me of the Flash, as where like it's funny, it's lighthearted, and like it's hitting all the beats that CBS wants to hit. It has like the love stuff, it has the drama stuff, it's witty, it's funny, it's you know,
it has cliffhangers without them being dramatic cliffhangers.
Yeah, and this is almost new, I don't want to say new ground for CBS, but like you think of CBS shows, they're like
Big Bang.
It's Big Bang Theory, it's 2.5 Men, it's Two Broke Girls, it's
Mike and Molly, is that?
Yeah, Mike and Molly, it's like the CSI stuff, like those kind of stuff. So this is kind of like a new ground. Yeah, it's really CBS.
Different for them.
So like, even though it's the same showrunners as Flash and Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow, it's still new for CBS, and I think they're kind of nailing it for their first try. So
I think so.
So I'm really enjoying Supergirl. I'm excited to see next week's episode, because that's apparently another big like Superman adaptation that they're doing for Supergirl, which, you know, whatever the Superman stuff, but I'm excited. I'm always excited to watch the next episode, which is what, you know, Flash and Arrow are kind of getting to that point where like we're starting to get to that point where there's filler episodes, and you're just kind of like, okay, you can watch the first 5 episodes of the season, the last 5 episodes of the season, and you get the point, and like the middle 15 are kind of fillers almost. But,
I think it's a strong first season.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, it's really a strong first season. I can't wait to see the rest of the season.
Me too.
Well, I think we're going to wrap up that episode of TV Talk. Remember, you can find all of our content on digitalnerdadvocates.com or right here on our YouTube page. Like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you want us to talk about next. And until next time, we're out.
Bye.